Meat and fire are the only two things we're going to need for this cook. In this video, we're going to be doing charcoal only beef ribs with no seasoning. All right, so we're going to be using our drum smoker. We're going to open it up. I've already taken my cooking grate and heat deflector out. And now I'm just going to fill our charcoal basket up with some lump charcoal. Then I'm going to get a fire lighter in there and light it up. All right, so we've got our beautiful beef ribs here. We're not going to trim them. We're not going to season them. All I'm going to do is on the thinner side is get some hooks in there because we're going to hang our beef ribs today. So I'm just going to go right through that end bone. I'm going to put two in there, so one sort of up here. And that might be the quickest beef rib prep I've ever done. Now all we need to do is wait for our charcoal to be ready and these can go on. All right, so our charcoal's caught light nicely, but it's not ready yet. We still need to get that running nice and stable in our smoker. So we're going to shut our lid. Make sure both of our vents are wide open, and now we're going to let our barbecue come up to around 250 Fahrenheit or 120 Celsius. All right, now we're up to temperature. We'll open our lid, and then I'm just going to get our rail in so we can hang these beef ribs. I'm going to position it right about there, and then I'll get these beautiful beef ribs on, just like so. And then we can shut our lid, and then once our temperature recovers to around that 250 Fahrenheit or 120 Celsius, I'll position my vent around there. Then I'll give our smoker 10 minutes to sort of stabilize off to see where it stops at. And then if I need to increase temperature, I'll open my vent up a little bit. If I need to decrease, I'll shut it down a little bit. Drum smokers are super easy for fire management, but for now, I'm going to leave it open until we recover, and then we'll work on some fire management. All right, so it didn't take long for our temperature to recover, and that's where I've got the vent sitting. And as you can see, we're sitting smack bang on 250 Fahrenheit or 120 Celsius. So now our temperature's nice and stable. All I'm gonna do now is just let these beef ribs go for a few hours before we come back to check on them. All right, we are 3 hours into this cook, and wow, these are looking incredible. Really good drawback on the bones. Some awesome color. Now we haven't used any smoking wood, but that rendering fat dripping down onto the charcoal is going to create that beautiful charcoal sort of flavor in the meat. So let's get this lid closed again and let these keep cooking away. So because I left the membrane on the back of those beef ribs and we've got that silver skin on top, like you seen earlier, I didn't trim them at all. I'm not worried about them falling off the hooks, and I wouldn't be too worried about them anyway because you'd have to overcook them to have that meat sort of fall apart and off the hook into the fire. And we're at least a few hours off these beef ribs being ready anyway. So all I'm going to do now is check on them every hour or so. I'm going to check the internal temperature, and as always, I want these to be probing quite nicely. So I'll start probing for tenderness around that 205 Fahrenheit or 96 degrees Celsius internal mark. So we'll let these go again and we'll check back in once we're a bit further into this cook. All right, we're another 3 hours in. So this is 6 hours total into this cook now. And these beef ribs are looking and smelling incredible. Just gonna have a probe of them. We are right around where we want to be at around 205 Fahrenheit or 96 Celsius. Just gonna make sure I probe both ends. Wow, these are feeling really soft. And all I've done in the last hour is I've just moved all the charcoal over to one side just to stop any rendering fat dripping excessively onto the charcoal. A little bit's all right, but it was starting to get a little bit excessive. And like I said, that's why I've just moved that charcoal over. Now we're happy with our beef ribs. We're just gonna get them out and onto our cutting bench. And honestly, these look and smell incredible. I'm very keen to see what these are like. So all I'm gonna do is just let these steam off for a good 5 minutes just to stop that cooking process. Then I'll take these hooks out, wrap them loosely in foil, and we're going to let them rest for a good hour before we come back to slice and serve them. All right, now I haven't been this keen to slice open a bit of meat in a very long time, so let's get stuck into these and then have a taste. Wow. Still got a really nice smoke ring from that charcoal. So juicy. It's looking incredible. Just look at that. Wow. All right, let's try this bit. Wow. It's just something so different. Just simple meat and fire. Cooked well, nothing else. So tender and juicy, just that nice charcoal flavour. I'm loving that sort of crispy fat on top. Like it's not going to blow you away with flavour, but just to get back to the basics of meat and fire, really tasting the protein, some good quality beef. This is so good. Now I'm really glad I've done this cook, just some good quality beef, some fire, and this has produced something super tasty. Now don't get me wrong, I still love using barbecue rubs, but this was good to get back to basics. So if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below. Definitely give this one a try for yourself. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.